Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Talk About It with Tracey. And tonight for you, we have some special guests in the house. I have three lovely, gorgeous ladies here tonight, and they will be joining us with our lovely, juicy topics and discussions that we're going to have. Tonight, yes, is Girl Chat, and we have some open discussions as well. The phone lines will be open for you to call in and get involved in the topics, or also any subjects or dilemmas that you may have. You can also contribute to that. So without further ado, let's start kicking off with no other than our very own, you know this lady, you see her all the time. She's one of us, she's from Heritage, and she's joined me tonight for Girl Chat, and introducing to you is Natural.
Hi! I'm on the late shift tonight with Tracey Benjamin and two other wonderful ladies. I'm really ready to get down to the nitty gritty.
And beside gorgeous Natural, sorry.
Hi, yeah, you got myself, Tendai, also known as Petite DJ, and yeah, looking forward to getting down and dirty tonight.
And we have a lovely new lady in the house with us tonight. Would you like to tell the audience what your name is, who you are, and so on?
My name is Corinne, and aka Diva Mama.
Hey! Ooh, so are we guys ready to get down for some girl chat?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Cool. All right, so tonight we're going to kick off with asking a question that a lot of us tend to do. I don't think we actually do it on purpose, but we tend to rush into these things, relationships, without checking out the person that we're about to date. Should we check the person out before we date this person? Should we find out some family background and history on this person? How far would you go? Or is it just go on a date, and then as you go along you find out about the person?
Isn't that what dating's about, really? That's what dating should be. It's, delving into their mind and getting to know them. I mean, what kind of checks are you talking about, Tracey? Background checks, financial checks. I mean, if you can, a lot of the time you meet someone and you don't really have the scope. But I know some women, they go really, really deep.
Yeah.
Start going on the internet and all sorts, like finding out history.
The thing is, I don't know. I mean, I think for some of us, maybe even for myself, I think maybe if I had been able to do some kind of checks on certain men, they probably would have entered into my life, because you find that what you thought the person wasn't actually that. They got so much history, so much family problems, so much problems. It's unbelievable, and you've got enough as it is already, and the two of you are just not balancing.
Do you mean family problems, like his family, or are you talking about he's got like 6 baby mothers?
It could be all of that.
Have you guys seen that show Gold Digger?
No.
Not properly.
BBC or Channel 4. Just watched it. Literally, I watched it back to back. It was so intriguing.
Ooh, okay.
Back to back, I watched 4 series in one day, there and then. And basically, there's a man, a woman, older woman. I think it was her 60th birthday. She met a younger man. He was maybe about 25.
Oh.
So she had kids that were old, just about his age, or thereabouts. Or even one might have been younger. She had 3 kids. And cut a long story short, they didn't trust him. Intuition. So for me, when I do the whole dating thing, I'm a thing of intuition. Let me go with the flow. Let me see what happens. And then, as you said, you've got some friends that'll be like, find out. Yeah, but I already know. We've got this friend connected. I can find out. Like, I don't want to do no digging. Let me find out for myself. That's how I like to do things. But I respect people that are like, I'd rather find out from the get-go what this man's saying. So this woman, the gold digger lady, she didn't know nothing about him, and the kids were like, there's something about him. And it ended with her just about to get married with him, and someone in the pub said, but he killed Bob, didn't he, down the road the other day? He was a murderer. Yeah, so it could get to the stage where we've got access to find out this information. You could be lying down or being with someone that's an absolute nutter. Yeah. So we should be doing the tricks, but the majority of us, we just think to ourselves, I've got good intuition. I'm
like that.
Yeah.
I go with this gut feeling, and he seems all right and everything. But sometimes how can you, we're not all easy, and me, I tend to be the person that might be able to find out what's going on, but I don't always get the information coming back to me. I have to find out my stuff myself.
Yeah, but when you go out with someone, well, it's been a long time since I've been out with anyone, but hey, any dates out there?
You know that? 118.
But no, but I think when you meet somebody, you're not really. I think your first date is to see whether or not
The chemistry
is there anyway. Unless you're just going out as friends and see where it leads to. But you don't want to waste, when you get to our age, you don't want to waste that time, sort of thing. So I would say you probably, I don't know, you probably would. I mean, what if you probably have to check his financial background in some way if you're pursuing a further relationship. But that would be probably further down the line. It's not something that you're going to do straight off. If you meet somebody, you kind of know in probably the first maybe 10 minutes, half an hour, whether you like the person or not.
But I know what you mean, that you do have that connection. But because I'm dating at the moment, and I meet a lot of guys, and sometimes you have that connection. It's like, you know what, this guy's really nice. Like I'm really feeling it, and then it's like, oh, yeah, I've got to tell you something. I've got a girlfriend.
Oh.
There's two guys recently. There was one that I really liked, really handsome African guy, took all the right stuff. Like, yeah, they're like, oh yeah, I've got a wife. Oh, hello.
But do you know what? At least he came out.
Yeah.
But then there's another one where I was,
but
I like you now.
To answer the question, more than likely is that he's like, right, there's a connection here. Like, might not even have been necessarily pursuing it on a dating thing. Just like, right.
He was pursuing it, mate.
From the jump.
Because they want to pursue it. And that's what happens. They'll be like, well, I've got a girlfriend, but, we can do it. We can do it. Let's not just be too open. And the thing is, I'm not going to name and shame him, but he's that one, like, I met him, and I thought, you know what? This could actually work. I really like him. And then I met up with him, and then he dropped the bombshell, and it's like,
that just killed him.
And then, but he still wanted to continue.
At least he said something though. I do.
Yeah, at least for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah.
But in terms of the checks, these are the kind of things that we need to know. Like, you should be able to run like a MOT in it, where you can see CRB on the CRB and get a whole list. But you know what I'm date. Like,
somebody read this, because the reason why I can't read, I can't pronounce his name. This particular man here
don't want contacts today.
has his reasons.
Shall I read the whole thing?
Yeah, you can read. Yeah,
just the top bit.
Yeah.
Femi Fani Kayode schools internet users on how to love properly. 5 months ago, 130,419 views. Shall I read the rest? Former Aviation Minister Femi has given his 2 cents on relationships in a new social media post. And Fani Kayode, that's his surname, advised people to find out how the person they're dating was raised. He added that there are a lot of good-looking people who are extremely damaged inside.
For real.
Love is not always how it appears to be on TV screens, and several individuals have been misled for this reason. Well, former Aviation Minister Femi has shared his opinion on how people can have better relationships. In a post shared on Twitter, Femi explained that people in relationships should always find out how their partner was raised. He added that people who have been hurt often end up hurting others when they're in a relationship.
I mean,
it's a lot to take in.
I get it, but is it really fair to brand somebody
on the get-go?
From
their past hurts.
So, what are your parents? Are they married? Do they stay together? What was your? I mean, I don't think it's fair to. I don't know.
Earlier on, we was having a conversation with the gentleman who was waiting in the reception area, and we were talking about the same thing, saying that there's a person that he knew whose parents weren't married, but the friend that he was friends with got married. So
yeah, it
doesn't always mean that. I mean, my parents are married, but I'm yet married.
Right.
And they're still together.
Right.
They're still alive, praise God. But amen. Because it's same like you, Corey.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
You're talking about my parents, right?
Yeah, our parents,
Hey, don't cut me off here, though. I'm on the here.
Our parents are married, but we're yet to be married, so I don't know. I mean, what is it? Are we attracting the wrong
It's a
type
different
of
type of-
men?
No, but it's different.
world.
I think different generation as
Yeah.
well. Because our
Yeah.
parents probably would stay. I mean, maybe my parents are a bit younger than maybe even your parents.
Yeah.
But in your parents' time, you married. That's what a woman
had
was
to
kind of.
do.
Yeah, you find your man, you marry,
that
you
is
settle,
it.
and you stay, and you put up with whatever he's dishing out.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas our generation, it's like,
No, the women now, they're like,
Not
we
right
can
here.
do for ourselves. So they tend to just, you know what, you're messing up, food gone. You know,
And
so.
as soon as they see something, that's it.
And most men will put their best, or women will put their best foot forward when you meet them. They're not really giving you everything. Because if they gave you everything, you probably run a mile.
It's funny, I had a guest last week, her name's East Envy on Instagram, and she's the host of Ebony Love, and she has it's like a dating event where you learn about people, and she was saying basically what you were saying, that it's difficult to be able to understand where someone's coming from,
Yeah, for real.
but you have to kind of dig in.
And not even that, sometimes people's past, they may have messed up in the past, but they learn from that and actually want to progress to be a better person. So I suppose, I don't know, I wouldn't say, I think in this day and age now, you just, it's you sometimes you have to go with your gut instinct.
And I'm coming across gentlemen, I say that word, gentlemen, not even just guys, gentlemen that are actually talking about the fact that therapy is a fantastic thing. I'm very open when I meet people and I talk about my therapy journey. I've got a therapist who's absolutely phenomenal outside of the relationship realm, but when I'm meeting guys, I mean, I'm into the whole law of attraction kind of thing. When I'm meeting guys, and I don't know how the conversation is cropping up, but they're talking about the fact that, I'm on a healing process. And when you hear man talking about that word, I'm like, I would love that. So for me, I'm like, wow.
Brilliant.
I know,
I
right?
haven't met anyone say that.
Recently I've met a lot of guys on that, I would say a lot, maybe the 2 guys are clients, 2 guys are guys that I'm kind of like, I've met, interacting with, and I'm just like, this is what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter where we're going with this. The fact that I'm attracting guys on this level, because there's chicks that don't even talk about the fact that how great therapy is, how the fact that a lot of us need healing on all levels. You could be a person that's used to being in a relationship, but there's things that you're doing wrong, but you're big enough to say, I know I need therapy because when I go wrong with this or that, I know that I need to check myself and find out it's a learned behaviour. It's because I've dealt with this in my past, as you said, with that readout that we just read out, and it's behaviour that you've known as a child. So yeah.
So what about what's his name? Kayode? Kayode. He's saying that people who have been hurt often end up hurting other people. I mean, sometimes that can be true.
And it could be on the other side.
Very nasty.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've seen some really nice guys and watch them switch to, I can't recognise you. Even girls, ladies, I've seen them do the same. Like, why? Where's this coming? Why are you doing this? Because
Trigger. That's what it is. It's a trigger. Something's happened in their childhood and it's a coping mechanism. So they'll see like, oh my gosh, I'm just about to get hurt here, so let me just wham, bam.
But also, it's the experience that they've had before, because I've heard people say, well, that's never, ever, 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 never, ever it's going to happen to me again. I don't care. And the wall's up this high.
Yeah. You protect self-protection. You learn from your behaviours and what you were saying.
Or they'll go into it, sorry to cut you, and end up hurting you and you and you without even realising, or deliberately.
But then what the lady was saying last week is that, and what you were saying is that people go into it. What she said was going into it sideways, and this is my best side, and show you this. Yeah. But the reality is,
they'll say
the cracks. It's not even when you turn, you'll see the cracks, and we're all human, and that's why I don't really like the idea of that, because you can't judge me by my parents' experiences or even mine. I'd like to think that I'm reflective and that, you know, I take my experiences and it helps me to move forward. Obviously, we all carry baggage, but I wouldn't like, oh, do you know what? She was in a long-term relationship and she left her man. So what does that mean? I'm going to leave every man that I've been with? No, it doesn't.
Well, guys, if you agree or disagree and feel that you want to add to this, or even been through a similar experience yourself or relationships, please contact us. Phone lines are now open on 020 800 46100, 020 800 46100, and get involved, guys. Get those phone number dialing. All right, so we're going to move on swiftly because we've got a couple of topics to clear up before we end this show. But we will come back. We will come back to that, but we haven't dismissed it. We're going to come back. But this is an interesting topic, lady. I don't know if some of you read about it, heard about it. But there's a hotel cleaner, chambermaid. She's actually from Los Angeles, and she's now 40 years old, and she impregnated herself by inserting a used condom into herself. And what was remarkable about it, that she actually took the person she got pregnant for, father, to court and won child support battle. And there's a wonderful lady there on the television.
She looks older than 40, I'll give her that.
Oh,
sorry.
She's quite a pretty lady.
She is, she's pretty, but she's
a very beautiful lady. It's not like, I mean, she shouldn't have problems getting a man.
At the time, I think she was about 36 or so. The person, youngster, millionaire, he was about 24.
Oh, 24.
Yeah. Whether he was or was not ready to start a family.
Not in that way.
It's seems to believe. I mean, the whole story doesn't give you a finalisation properly, other than the fact that she took him to court and won child support. Now, this story has so many words wrong.
Yeah, red flag. That's how picnic. Red flag. Who's got red flag? Red earring.
Let me calm down.
Hold on. Deep breath, baby.
Okay,
Hold on.
Alright, yes, find me all. Listen. I don't know what you were thinking, baby girl.
No, honey.
But
Hey.
I'm gonna start with you, because I have so much to say. Jesus.
I was gonna say she cleaned up.
And then I'm going to be the wordsmith here.
She cleaned up. She wasn't cleaning the room, she cleaned up.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely clean.
But to me, I do think that the media can tell you what they want to tell you, and I do think that maybe there's more to this story. Maybe he peed her off, and she said, okay, I'm going to get you back. And she decided to...
By inserting your used condom into my vagina,
People got some messed up mind, you know. I mean, I wouldn't do something like that, but, you know, people... Remember, we come from a world where people are so... You don't know what they're going through, what they're thinking. Yeah, and to me, she can't have been... in her right mind.
But what my issue is, she went in her right mind. She's crazy. Ask me, she's crazy. What she did.
Yeah.
They actually awarded her child maintenance.
Yeah.
Now, this is because we were debating about it earlier. All right, the life is here, the baby, and that's half his child. He's a millionaire. But she's raped him, basically. She's taken his sperm, she's taken his child, and it was unconsensual, and you said that she admitted it, that she stole the condom. It's not like there was no whoopsie, there was no sex, there was nothing like that.
So hold on. How did he come?
He came in the condom.
Basically.
So he came in and comes.
And then she took the condom
right, yeah.
and then...
But how did she know that he was going to... I mean,
But we
maybe
were
it's
saying,
just
how many times did she do it?
do it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Who? I
Was
mean,
he the
did she want a
first-
baby? Did she want money? Did she see him and think, you know what, he's loaded? Or was she desperate to have a baby? It's the mental health and needs, and you can't find a man. I mean, it's like I need answers here. I need to know more.
It's you know what? There's so many things like you just said. Yeah, it's rape, violation,
Agree.
intrusive,
Agree.
Crazy.
You know, deception,
Fraud.
Any more
Successfully.
But they awarded her the child support. So
she got child
I don't
support
agree
for
with
this.
that.
Like,
I
you
don't
know,
agree.
this man's got
But it's not the child's
responsibility to a child that he had no consent to for the rest of his life. The thing is, there's so many wrongs, as I said. Number one, you pick up a used condom and you don't know what that person has or had.
Yeah.
Now, okay, not saying that he did, but it could have been had like maybe a sexually transmitted infection. He could have had HIV. He could have got some serious mental issues going on in that DNA swimming around in that bag. You know,
It's true.
you know, you just don't know what that person is. The history, the lineage. He could be a murderer. He could have gone into that hotel. You know, you don't know. He obviously went to a hotel to have a good time with a specific person.
Oh, not her.
No.
Oh, Lord.
cleaner.
have
She
mercy.
was the
I'm
cleaner,
He had
honey.
his party,
That's what my head's been
and the
like.
after party was her in the condom.
Yeah. She was the cleaner, honey. She went in there to do her job, like Corinne said. She
cleaned up.
She was the cleaner, honey. So she went into the room, went and saw a used condom in the bin. Now, does this mean that men haven't really got to flush away their condoms down the toilet?
Well, you should tie and dispose. So guys, make
But
sure
then-
you know dispose of your stuff. But it's not really good for the environment anyway. But let's
It's not. I meant to say it's not very good for the environment to go down
Do
the
that,
toilet. But my goodness, where the man thought he was doing something sensible by having protective sex and disposing it in the correct way by leaving it in the bin. And then she comes along and fishes it out and then continues fishing it all the way out.
But my
You know?
concern is that I don't know. I think morally I've got a massive issue with this. If we flip the script on this, let's say a woman was raped. Obviously, we've got the physical aspect of the trauma
That's
that
right.
he didn't go through. Let's remove that. But let's say this woman's now been raped and she's become pregnant. And she goes through carrying a baby because she doesn't believe in abortion. Let's say that. But she gives away the child. Now, does that mean the CSA is going to come for her and say, well, you gave birth to this child,
So
you never wanted it,
responsible.
you never wanted the child, you never consented to the child, but a court has found that he's responsible. When she made the choice, he never consented, you've stolen his sperm, you've stolen his DNA, but a court still managed to find that she's not only not being prosecuted for what she's done, she's being paid.
She's being paid.
Hella paid.
She's been congratulated.
It's out of order.
Congratulated for what she did.
It's
because
out of
and
order.
that
That's
she's
out of order.
awarded.
It's out of
She's
line.
awarded by maintenance. This she's set for life.
Yeah, basically.
You know, and nobody ever thought about the child. There's a child here, and this child eventually is going to want to know who the father is and how this child probably came into this world, so to speak. As in, well, mummy and daddy, were you ever boyfriend and girlfriends? Why does daddy not like me? Why does daddy not like you? Why can you and daddy never have a conversation? You know, what are you going to do and turn around and say to your child? I mean, if you don't tell your child anything, it's all over the internet. This is the new age now. It's all over. The child can just tap up and see things, what's going on in the world. Oh my God, Mum, I can't believe you did that.
You raped daddy, like.
You know, you raped
Yeah.
my father.
Yeah,
You raped him.
disgusting.
You know, and what if the child forbid, God forbid, thank God so far it seems that everything is normal and healthy, that the child came out and it was deformed.
Exactly.
You know, what if the father had some kind of disability trait?
Chromosome.
Well, he would have to pay for it because that's what they decided, and that's the thing. He's He's responsible. But I mean, I understand the idea of it's not the child's fault, and I think maybe that's the only side of it that I can say. If I was a judge and I'm sitting there, this child is here, this child is yours. She's half your DNA. You have to be responsible. But to me that doesn't really sit right. Even though I understand that. I don't
If
know.
that's the case, then also I understand that. If that's the case, then punish the woman that done
She
something.
should be some kind
he's
of
had to take
criminal-
responsibility for what he's done. Fair enough, if that's the angle they're going down. But you're going to have to punish the woman, because if that was a man, that would have been rape.
That would have been rape. Exactly what you said. It was all the ethics of rape without the physical.
Yeah.
Everything.
The
Because he's
intrusion.
going through all the trauma. He must be very stressed out. He must be going through sleepless nights. He's probably getting it from family and friends. What you got to
Imagine
do?
it in a
do
race.
something about
Imagine
it.
it in a race thing, like it being a black person and a white person, and I'm a black woman that only dates black men, and something like this happened where is someone of a different race involved. I know I shouldn't be talking about it in a race thing, but it's traumatic for that other person to have to deal with the fact that, like, this is not my world and I'm being forced.
Yes, especially
now for
if
18
you
years.
didn't want to be with a black person.
Yeah.
and then
Can you
and
imagine?
vice
Yeah,
versa.
can you imagine he's like some white
Because it-
supremacist? You've got this.
Yeah.
Because
Brown baby.
even so, even
Didn't even think about that.
Because she looked Hispanic, didn't she?
Like
She looks black or Mexican, but same thing, black.
Hispanic
anyway.
of some kind,
Hispanic,
yeah.
But the thing is, I didn't, like you said, what if the family is white supremacists or whatever?
That's your views.
Or religious thing,
Or
Jews,
religious.
versus-
But then again, what if they're just not? They just have a preference for colour, and it doesn't mean you're racist.
That's
it just
right.
means that you only date white people, you
Correct.
just date black people or Hispanic or Asian or whatever. It doesn't mean you're racist. It just means that your preference.
That's your
Yeah.
choice.
And
Yeah.
like you said, it could be religious, it could be family traits,
Yeah.
and she's taken away all of that.
So a
What
choice
your
that he's
choice
had
to do
all
it?
of that life, he's chosen to only date, let's just say it's a black man. He's chosen to only date black women. He wants to keep that in his lineage, and now he's had to deal with someone thieving, taking a fraudulent action, taking his things, come back and say, you're going to have to deal with this and my world for the next 18 years. 18 times 355 days?
65. And it's not even 18,
Yeah, that's
because children don't stop at 18.
No, that's the
even
first
though,
thing,
even though
It's forever.
it's forever, because that child's
your
always going
child.
to come to you for something,
Yeah.
and that child with you forever. But when the child obviously is old enough to understand some of the story, the child may not want to be interested in mother or father, because the child may feel disgusted at the whole thing.
True.
Was this woman that desperate that she needed to have a child,
Yes.
or was it that she thought it was an opportunity to have a child with a millionaire, or was it that something that she did for a laugh? And as we said
Boy,
before,
it's a big
is
laugh,
this
isn't it?
something-
Funny.
Is this something that she's done more than one
Yeah,
occasion?
because
and it
she
so
might have got
happened
lucky.
that this person she got lucky with.
She's like,
That'd be
jackpot,
interesting to
bingo.
find, because she might have been doing it. Because sometimes mental health is a serious thing, and she might have.
But what if she isn't mentally ill?
I know, but
Maybe
something's not right there.
Maybe
In some kind of way.
No, to us it might seem as if it's a bit queer and a bit weird and odd and
strange.
whatever.
It should just be
strange, but she just might not be. Might be nothing wrong with
Yeah.
her. Maybe it was desperation has come. I mean, people have chosen many ways of conceiving nowadays, as we know. There's surrogacy. There's insemination, test tube babies, and so forth. There's also
She did that, artificial
Yeah.
insemination.
Yes.
Only that
Because
she knows.
I'm imagining like a turkey.
Turkey baster.
Yeah, turkey based
That's
stuff.
probably what she did.
well, she must have used some kind of syringe. Yeah, she must have.
Try and picture it.
But she said that she inserted the condom, so you just put it up there, leave it in there, everything's going to spill out, isn't it?
Oh God.
But I just think women, sometimes we need to take account for ourselves, and that you're doing there just out of line. There's no question. Like, even a woman, take that craziness that's going on. A woman that, for example, cheats on her man and gets pregnant for another man. Those kind of things. It's a massive impact. There's a story quite close to me of a man. He was, he was messing around with a girl. She got pregnant, but then she passed it off as somebody else, as her guy, and then he found he wasn't sure. He did the DNA test, and it's like that child's only really just met her dad now, when she's 10, and she wanted her dad or her whole life, and it's so important to her. Do you see what I mean? It's like that's without all of this added extra. I don't even know what to call that.
I mean, the thing is,
So it's like
you're
you're torturing that the impact that you're going to have on that child and what you're doing is out of line. She'll be financially secure, but
she took a risk. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's just pure nastiness. I'm sorry, because
yeah, that's just.
it's just disgusting. It's, I mean, I think that just thinking about it, you don't know anything about this person, who this person is, or did you? Did you secretly know? You know, and you're going to take something. I don't even, I'm sorry, but I mean, we've all been in a situation when we've come across a partner who's used a condom. And for when he's taken the damn thing off, you don't even want it to touch you.
Yeah.
You just want him to bin it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like that cold slimy thing away.
Even if he says, "Oh, babes, can you dispose of it for me?" I'm like,
But you know what? I must say, I do prefer it in there than in the hair. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't.
How did I throw that? So good.
You know, but it's not something that you're gonna like. Okay, let me just help you take it off and put it in the bin. Like, it's not a norm. Well, some women will do, but it's not a normal practice that we're comfortable in doing this or willing to do it. A man feels quite happy to just take it off and do what he needs to do, tie it up and bin it or whatever. That's the man's job done. Yeah. So for a woman to now go and pick up that after it's been done, and then
fluffing through the bin.
and then what did she fuss for it? Maybe it was just sticking up, looking at her like, take me,
she had a
take
boyfriend.
me.
It's probably what happens in court. She's like, Judge, I had no choice. The God was calling me. I
don't know.
Like, how does she win that?
That's what I'm really interested to know. What were the points of law? Because how
she
do
had
you
some
justify that?
Lawyers, put it that way, and he probably winged it. He probably thought, I'm gonna bust this. I'm not even gonna go with no lawyers. This is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Bust it. Yeah.
He probably did, because he's got millions and whatever.
But I reckon it's on the DNA. I think that would probably be the point of law, that this child is your child, therefore you need to pay for it, and that's the only justification. But how she got there,
because it is a law thing. It probably would be a law thing that if it covers this criteria.
Yeah, if it's your child, then you're liable. It's your DNA, 50% yours. You have to pay for her. So maybe
that's the saddest thing about it. You know, yes it is, but the woman literally stood up in court and admitted, yes, I artificially inseminated it myself. She never said, oh, we had any consensual sex, or I raped him. She never said anything. She admitted what she did. She found it in the bin, took it up, and got on with it.
She's brazen, boy. Because once you done the deed, like, oh yeah, and then you actually went and put, ooh, and then you did the test, you're pregnant. You actually thought, ooh.
Exactly.
Ooh. Or did you think that before?
But that's another thing. When you go to the doctor or wherever it is and it says you are pregnant, why do you think, oh my God, I think maybe I've taken this thing a little bit too far.
No, but she must have wanted that baby. You don't carry a child. Listen, to take that condom out of the bin and put it in yourself, there has to be some serious need or some serious health issues.
So hold on a minute, you can have a baby without having sex now. So you can be like the equivalent of Mary.
Sperm?
Basically.
Yeah.
No.
Sperm can stay alive.
Jesus could have been conceived without sex then.
No, there's no condoms back then.
No, but they might have been creative. They might have been creative here. They might have been creative and had something similar.
That's
so
immaculate conception.
the fact that happened,
Different.
well, come on, it's just a story, isn't it? Just a form of mind control. Like, let's control them, create this whole thing. That's a whole different thing. But, so you can actually be a virgin and have a baby.
Yeah. You can have a baby.
But sperm lives outside the body. You can
a certain amount
for 3 days. I think it's 3 days. Apparently, sperm can live outside. So,
what about that story that we were talking about earlier, where the woman and husband were married?
That's it.
And the husband and wife divorced, but they managed to freeze his sperm, and obviously at some point they were going to have children. So obviously they got divorced. And the husband put a blockage on the wife using the sperms.
Okay.
His sperms?
Yeah.
Or the embryos? Was it embryos or sperms?
It could be both.
Because if it's the embryos, it's different.
Sperms, because it's what he controls, right?
Yeah.
He put a blockage on the wife because they're no longer married. But the wife still insisted that she wanted his sperms to be pregnant. Now, I was saying, I would have taken the sperm same way as and make myself pregnant.
I don't think.
And
I
I
don't
tell
think
you
that's
what,
right.
and
I
I
don't
tell
think
you,
that.
I
because now you've divorced that person.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna be brought together because of the child, and that to me is still traumatic for a child growing up.
it is traumatic, but then at the same time, it was what we had consented at the time. And then, mind you, depending on my age, the time I am in my life, where I am at the time in my life, my mind frame, mindset, and everything. Do I actually want to go out and meet somebody, start all over again?
That's not his problem, though.
Long. Hold on a minute. I know it's not his problem when I've got everything right there.
That's not his problem, though.
Yeah, but we froze it for us two together.
Yeah, but you're not together
They're
now.
not together anymore.
So
But it's a similar situation. She went out and find
that's not
a
similar.
condom.
That's different. That's not really. That's a bit
You've got
different.
situation A, B, and C.
I know.
Yeah, they're all effed up. They're all messed
But I
up.
don't know. I think with your one, I know what you're saying, but that's like
Violation.
It's the same kind of thing where you're in a relationship and a man wants out, and then the woman, I don't know, she lures him back and he sleeps with her and she gets pregnant. But that one, you're giving her the stuff, you're giving her scope.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, you've given her the sperm
And he
before,
said no.
and now I said no. You wouldn't get the stuff now for you to get that option. But because we did that before, you don't have a right to his sperm.
No.
And if he wants out, that's like, well, I've got my eggs. Okay, so right, I'm gonna take your egg and implant it in my new missus and have the baby.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I do understand. I do agree. But then I'm saying to myself, well, you were, obviously we were once husband and wife, and I may still want to have this baby, and I still wanted to have our baby. Okay, the relationship.
If it's embryo, I would say differently. If it was an embryo,
well, that's my control.
no, but no.
And then
No,
he
that's
may
an
not
egg.
want- yeah.
If it's an embryo, if we've gone together and we've frozen, let's say for example, people get cervical cancer and they say, we're going to remove your womb, but we're going to make
Keep
some
the eggs.
embryos. We can take your eggs, or we can make the embryos, we can plant them and freeze them till you're ready.
Now,
I think that's what something like that was.
Yeah, so
something
now
like
if it's that one where, you know what, I've lost my womb, our embryo's already made, that life's already created, and I've got no other option, then she's got more of a case. But if it's his sperm, you better go find some sperm somewhere else. Like there's lots
Sperm
of
donor.
there's lots of them shaking the willy
and
out
that's
there. You
another
can get
thing, I
sperm
don't
somewhere
know.
else.
And
So
that's
it's not
another
really.
thing about these sperm donor clinics. Now, I'm not saying that no one should have a possibility of having children in any shape or form. Everyone has the right to bear fruit and start a family. Okay, I agree. But if you're going to be a sperm donor, the only thing I don't support and don't agree with is not knowing who the parent is, the father is. Now, for a number of reasons, obviously, we all can go to the same clinic and share the same donor. And obviously we're carrying his children. And one day the children grow up, end up falling in love, brothers and sisters, all these sort of things. Yeah? I don't agree with that.
Absolutely.
But it's paramount that it's all confidential.
Yeah.
So you and I can all go to the same clinic, share the same man, and no one needs to know. I think
You've got certain doctors that were shotting off their things doing that, and then they're like, oh, there's babies that have got the same doctor as their father, kind of thing.
And that's why people don't really, that's the idea of sperm donors. The guys that I've spoken to on that topic, they're like, nah, I need to know where my seed is. Like, I can't just be, fertilising the earth.
But that's what they're
But
saying.
it's helpful though for the woman that needs it, and I think.
But they're saying that they don't do that. They don't disclose information, and I don't know. I think it's wrong. I think you should disclose
no
information.
idea.
Yeah, but then
Works,
it's anonymous though, isn't it? And that's the whole point of it. And that's the difference. Where that woman you want a baby, someone's giving you that gift of here's the sperm, go and make it. But then you're responsible for it. There's no I'm a sperm donor, like DNA test. You need to pay DNA. So that's why it's a bit. I don't understand how they got to their findings, because surely there's some kind of rules about sperm donors. I couldn't go to the sperm bank and get impregnated and then go and find the guy. Obviously, that's why there's anonymity. But if I could, he wouldn't be responsible because that was my choice.
That's it.
I wanted
But
to
the
get
thing is,
pregnant.
exactly, I do agree that they shouldn't actually give out the information to you directly,
Yeah.
but there should be a recording
Yeah.
Somewhere to
that
find
we
it.
all should know that we came from the one.
Yeah. So maybe when the child
No, but
turns
then you
16 or
So
a
the
certain
child
age,
can trace.
yeah.
I think
agree.
for children,
Yeah, but in time, look, you mean like other things that have happened, laws have always changed. So maybe in time that will actually happen.
There should be
Just
a, I
not
mean,
now.
I don't think there's any harm in having a record of who, which sperm, like they must have records
They
of
must
which
have
sperm
them,
was
yeah.
given to who.
Yeah.
And I understand what you're saying about the, you know, all four of us, next, we've got kids and then
I have
you know,
no
it could be all
no, but I'm just saying we could all be impregnated and then,
okay.
you know, our children could get together. I understand that.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, there's a risk that you're taking because we've all been given a gift.
we're all sharing the same baby father.
You know, it's not a baby father
Yeah,
because
it's
it's a donor.
It's true.
When we share the same baby father, right?
It's not baby father. Baby father is the one that's guy that plants seeds and runs away. This is the donor.
We're walking down the road now, pushing prime, and seeing you coming down there like.
And you don't know what muckle man you're gonna come
You know what I
find.
mean?
Maybe come out with some big head terror things and all that. You never know what you was getting.
As in like when you've got an anonymous
Yeah,
sperm
you don't know what you're
yeah,
But
it's
absolutely, there
true.
must be. You must
But
get
people
choices
check them
about
out,
look.
innit? They check them with the eyes,
Yeah, okay,
nose,
okay.
complexion,
Okay.
intelligence,
Okay, all of that.
all kind of
Okay.
crazy
Well, that's
stuff.
what you can actually tick up. Yep, I want a baby that's.
Some
Yeah,
I
you can
design
do
a
all that.
baby.
Designer
Yeah.
babies.
Designer
That's
baby.
right.
It's better than you get on the road. You might as well try that.
Well, guys, this is Let's Talk About It with Tracey. We're going to go and take a quick break. And joining us, as I said, tonight, we have some special guests with us. We have Natural. And we have...
Tendai.
And we have...
Corinne Diva Mama.
I love it, you know.
We
Diva.
got
Mother,
Marie.
mother of divas.
All right, and we've just been talking about, you know, should you check out a relationship, a person first before you get into a relationship? And we're now talking about the lady who stole sperm and used condom and made herself pregnant. And not only made herself pregnant, had the baby and won child support. My goodness.
Name her, look at her face.
And there she is right there on the
She was like a
screen.
winner. She
So
like
we
me.
will be having more discussions about that, and after the break, to wash or not to wash, that is the question, on 020 800 46100, 020 800 46100. Give us a call and get involved. We'll see you after the break.
This is UK Pressure Records.
UK Pressure Records continuing where we left off with part 1 of this fantastic rhythm, Spreading the Love. Part 2. It's now available on CD Baby and all leading download sites. Featuring 4 remarkable UK-based artists, featuring the singer man himself, Andrew Slowly.
You just don't want to play with the scorn of a man. You just don't.
The scorn of a woman.
You know why?
The scorn of a woman.
Cause it's hotter than fire in a hell.
The scorn of a woman.
The one and only all-rounder UK principal.
I love you, I love you, I love you. Yeah. I love you, my girl. And I've always wanted you to be mine.
That's why I love you,
So this song I sing from my heart, and it's so true.
Beautiful voice of the lovely Verna Morgan.
I'm so grateful for this precious life. Grateful
the Barry White of reggae, Ricardo Mackenzie, aka Ricky Redkin.
I keep spreading love. Oh, yes. I keep spreading the love around the world now. I keep spreading the love. Oh, yes. I keep spreading the love around the world now.
This is a must for every reggae music lover, so make sure you get your copy today. UK Pressure Records, uniting music and the people together. One love.
Around the world now. I keep spreading the love. Yes, I will. I know I will. I keep spreading the love around the world now.
My daughter-in-law. So how are you planning for my son's birthday? No, I have to cook up for her. Do you people have ogirisi there? No. It's okay. Okay, let me call you back. Mama Chiji, okay. Hi, so wait a market. Please pack some ogirisi. I am going to visit my son. My daughter-in-law. It's arranged, but you must use original red oil to prepare the soup. What? I'll call you back. Mama Chijo, please include Isio Morocco. My daughter-in-law. Everything is now set. But don't forget that gold wristwatch I saw the last time I visited.
Now you can talk until you tire for just 11 kobo per second. Call all networks in Nigeria and 30 international destinations, including US, UK, China, Canada, and India for just 11 kobo per second. Dial *211# to activate.
That's Silk Bobo.
The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Hi guys, welcome back. Yes, so we had a quick break and we're back after the break, and we're going to continue talking about our cleaner, our hotel cleaner who impregnated herself and became super rich. She impregnated herself by a very rich young man and now is rich. Basically what we found out a little bit more, that she did want to have a baby. She desperately wanted a baby. He left his bank statements on the side of the hotel reception, and obviously saw that this person was super rich and she wanted a baby, and why not just have a baby, but have a baby with somebody who's going to financially support her for the rest of her life.
But that was a big risk though.
That was a massive risk.
It was a big risk to just take a sperm and just say, okay, he got money, yeah, let's do it.
But I mean, for it to actually
that could have backfired
happen,
on her. That could have backfired where she didn't have that support and she would have raised a child. Maybe she may have came, for her to be a chambermaid then, maybe she didn't have much money and she wasn't earning that much money. So for her to do that, that was a very big risk, and she could have just been left hanging basically with a baby, having to raise a baby.
I don't think she cared though. I think she must have wanted that baby. I think the money, obviously, that helps. You might have seen it for, actually. But I think you don't do those kind of things and carry a child and birth a child if you don't want it.
She was desperate to have a child, but she's not ugly, as we discovered. We saw a picture of her many a time. She's a very good-looking lady, and I'm sure she's not. You know, she's not easy on. She's not easy on the eye. I mean, she's easy on the eye.
But
It's not that she was someone that a guy would have walked past.
She was 40. She was 35 though, and I remember when I was young, I used to have this real hunger to have a baby. I've got a lot of siblings, and I really, really wanted it. Like that feeling of broodiness. She was pushing. She was almost 35 when she did the deed, and in her mind, she might have been feeling that my time's running out. Like I need to do this, and then
no excuses. I'm in my 40s. I would not ever think of doing that. That's a violation. It's disrespect to your child. Like every day you've got to face. Imagine if your child was really upset with who their father was for whatever reason, and then you've got to answer the fact that you went and done that. You made your choice to do that. It's not.
I remember as well, like when the child goes to school, there's parents' days. There's Father Days, there's Happy Mother Days, you know, Parent Days, all these sort of things. And like, if it's a boy, then the thing is that the fathers take the boys to football matches, or in America, it's the soccer and the, what do you call it? What do they do again? Basketball. And stuff like that. You know.
I don't think that's I hear what you're saying, but I don't think that's the issue, because there's men who actually father their children and they don't do those things.
No, but what I'm just saying, like, there's all these things that could possibly come up if it was a boy, and then the realization is that I just don't have a dad, and that he probably will never have a dad.
But there's women, like you saying, there's women that, you know, they have one night stands and have a baby, and they ain't got no financial support, or you know, the guy just dismisses them. But it's like, you know what? I don't even care. This is my child, and I'm going to raise it. So in that sense,
that is true, and that makes sense. But as we've all agreed, this is completely different. This is someone that did something out of desperado, right? Violation. It's just so many things that just.
At least we're all in that same agreement.
Agreement.
Can you imagine if there's one person like, but really?
I think it was a great thing that she did.
She got what she wanted.
And do it. She got what she wanted. I just think no one should ever try something like that. You got to think about it long term.
Don't do it.
Don't do it at home.
40, 50, 60.
But then on the other side, being devil's advocate, being the bad one. What I'm saying is that for her, where she is right now, you could be like, where's your dad? Who's my dad? She don't really have to. Obviously, we've got the internet generation. But if you get yourself into a financial position where you can take your child off and you can make her feel secure enough, you've got enough money to make yourself and her comfortable, or him, you create that bubble for your child. Your dad, you know, your dad passed away. Your dad, he didn't want to be involved. It's us. And you make a secure child in a happy environment with enough finances to live a comfortable life that she would never have had as a cleaner, cleaning hotels with no baby. So she's on a double win. Not saying it's right,
I'm sure,
but it's a double win for her.
Based on the fact that she won and he has to be involved, there would be a stipulation with regards to he has to be involved in the child's life. I can't see the court
I don't
saying
think he wants anything to do with it. Tracey.
I don't think he does. All he's obviously summons is to that he's going to have to pay.
Okay.
If there is a chance that he's going to have to get involved, as you said, at some point, then maybe not. But he's quite young. He's
24, she's 40.
You know, he's about 28 now.
Okay.
But
did they show a picture of him?
No. He's quite young, so by the time he gets a lot older, maturity would have kicked him, and then he would have had to decide whether he can stomach that. As we said, it's just like being raped. You know, some women have been raped and they've kept the child, and it's been some really horrendous circumstances. Some of them from closest people to them, be it friends, brothers, sisters, fathers. You know, all these kinds of things. Not sisters. But you know what I mean? But you know, it's been close friends, families, or even, you know, strangers. So, and they've kept the child, they've raised the child, and they've got on with it. Some of them just not been able to cope. They've birthed the child and put it up for adoption. But this is something that he's never consented to at all.
Yeah.
Didn't even dream about it. Didn't wake up one day, thought, let me go and have a night of pleasure and come out and have a baby. You know, with a complete stranger, you know. So there you go.
I think we should be attacking the courts for the decision.
I think so. But you know what? Before we close
Agree.
on that particular subject, I hope that it doesn't affect him, that it makes him get into a mental state.
Yeah.
Because this could break him down.
Yeah.
You
so
know,
true.
it could break him down as
So
a man.
true.
And I hope he doesn't feel that he might want to get revenge on her. She never knows that, you know, he could end up doing something to her.
You've
You
got enough
know,
money.
or even the child. Do you know what I mean?
Very
We
true.
just don't know what someone's mental state is going to
So
be.
true.
It's really, really sad at this moment in time. I just hope not. But anyway, guys, let's move on to the last topic. It says to wash or not to wash. That is the question.
Expand a little more for us. TV, explain a little bit more information.
One's
Plate?
yoni.
Plate?
Your yoni?
To wash one's yoni or not to wash the yoni? Okay, that is not my question. As we are open to discussions, and when we have a girl chat, you know, our viewers, they can write in or they can phone in. Obviously, they're just watching and they're not phoning in tonight. And I hope the gentleman.
Yeah, you should name him. Give us his face.
Nah.
Who sent this question?
We're going to give you anonymity like the judge did with the last person. Last case we discussed.
I wouldn't call his name anyway. But anyway, he had said to me to put this forward out there to the girls, especially on the girls' chat.
Come on,
and
Trace.
it's to wash or not to wash. So I said, okay, what do we mean? So he's talking about when a man is pleasuring a woman orally.
Yes.
So I said, okay,
We like this, yes.
fine. I get it. So he says, put it out there, if I don't believe him, that most men prefer the woman not to wash before a man gets involved in the woman orally.
What? Why are you kidding me, man?
You just said but. You interjected.
Well, in my experience, I have had some experiences with guys, not just one, that enjoy my scent and my flavour. So, like, personally, I would always, you know, clean the plate before serving. But I've had guys that you're washing away the flavour. I'm sorry, mum, but they asked. And this is, you know, but he's saying most men. I wouldn't say for most men. I think that everybody's different, but some men do enjoy that kind of thing.
I think the moral of this story is make sure you eat a healthy diet, so that at least it.
Yes, your flavours. And they say pineapples.
Well, the thing is, what I was told by this particular viewer was that he didn't want anything too flavoursome. He wanted natural flavours, very natural, as in fishier natural.
Ooh! Man, look, no BV round here, honey. You're going to have to go elsewhere to find your fish flavours.
We didn't want it to be unpleasantly BV flavoured.
He went balanced with PhD.
Balanced with PhD flavoured. It needed to be
just a natural woman scent.
Just a woman fishy kind of.
I don't know.
Well, he said he wanted a little fishy kind of, you know, just a whiffy.
He wanted to smell like
a little bit of sprinkle of seasoning.
No, but that's like some women when they say they like the scent of a man, like a man's body odor, like it's manly.
No way.
No, not me personally.
No,
I never smell
way.
fresh, guys, fresh. But some women say it's sexy when you know, like that smell of a man, like it's a real man scent. Not me personally.
When it's your man and you're used to rolling with that, it can work. But
but even if it is your man, depending on his armpits, because I've been
I don't want to sew off.
And you know, some of the
but it's not just armpits, isn't it?
Well, I'm cutting that off because I start from there first, you know, that armpit thing, I ain't going nowhere. Jeez, that thing needs to wash, get some soap and clean it, proper.
But I suppose it is nice if like the experience that I had. Like when it was quite shocking when he said that. I'd been out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna get in the bath for you. Yeah, me baby. He's like, no. I was like, what? I mean, how? Like, he's like, no, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna clean you. I'm like, but no, and I was so uncomfortable with it. He's like, no, make sure you don't. I was like, but I'm not used to this. But then it was very liberating and erotic, and the fact that he's so enjoying me. He was like, wow, okay, like you really like my stuff, and it's, I mean, in that sense,
I'm a party pooper then, right? Because if a guy's going to want to be happy with me, and you're getting all kissy and cuddly and everything, and you're about to really get to business, and I think,
get erotica.
Just when the guy thinking, yeah, okay, up comes the skirt, go down to panties and whatever have you, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And he's like, what? I just got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, so you would go?
So I'm a party pooper there. I am. I just don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable.
I get that.
I'm not. Even if I'm not scented, I just don't feel comfortable. I'm a kind of person I need to know that I'm fresh. But this particular person is saying to me that why do you do that all the time? Because obviously that passion that you and your partner
breaks the moment.
You break the moment. And I said, well, sometimes obviously you get prepared before the person is coming, but like you said, there could be times you could be out and it's like, come baby, come to me just as you are.
And I'm like,
I love you just the way you are. I couldn't resist.
But, you know what? This show, Tracey, man. What we guys talking about on here, man? I'm shame on myself. But I would say like me, I ain't got no filter. But do you know what? I quite like the scent, my scent on a man. Like, you've been doing your job and that, and then I don't mind smelling my scent. I mean, it's quite sexy.
Nice.
Like,
it's very
sexy.
nice, but it's very nice.
I agree.
Corinne's like,
I'm pleading the fifth.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with leaving your scent on your beloved. Yeah. I'm not disputing that, but what I'm talking about when we want to get crazy and one wants to indulge, and the plate is before thee.
And the thing is, I think in the younger people's areas, it's like that's not crazy. That's standard.
Yeah,
standard.
This is just so standard.
Sorry, but I think
you're just going down. That's just standard. Like, get on with it.
You don't agree with it.
No, I'm just like, I do agree with it. It's like if you are happy with your bodily sense and you're happy to go through, and he's happy to go through.
I do like the attitude change, because I think that my generation and definitely older generation have got that attitude. They don't do that. Younger generation are much more on a mate. This is
let's talk about different hoes.
D block, and it's like I lick every part.
It's a whole different thing.
And it's like this is a more open-minded, generation.
They are completely different to what we are. I mean, obviously, we grew up in a generation where black women to talk about oral sex was a very taboo topic. And if it did happen, it was very much under the carpet, beneath the carpet. And if a man did it, particularly black men did it, it was like, well, don't tell nobody.
And
you're like, I ain't gonna tell no one.
Till I get home. It is so good. But the thing is, I call it Rolls Royce. I've got a poem that I started writing called Rolls Royce. And it's basically men that give head are Rolls Royce. It's luxury. Why have an old banger when I can have a Rolls Royce? Someone that's going to give attention to details. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
And now they're called standard, because they're just standard, isn't it?
But it shouldn't be standard looking at everybody's things though.
And I tell you why it's not standard anymore, because I keep mentioning it on my show. It's probably nearly every week. Goodness me, I'm sure he's watching me. But we are biggest fans for our Pastor Wilson.
Okay.
Pastor Wilson
because what I saw on Pastor Wilson, if it's not Pastor Wilson's standard, then it's not standard.
Okay.
And he's set the bar a little bit higher.
I don't know who this is.
You need
Pastor Wilson.
Yeah.
As in Jesus, Pastor.
Yeah, Pastor.
And he talks about these things.
Talk? Darling. He takes you after church.
To his house and gives you a demo.
Wherever.
Which church is this?
He actually entwines with the congregation.
With all of them?
Well, the church member.
Do you go to this church, Tracy?
In America, I would like to go.
I see. I've heard of this guy. Right.
Pastor Wilson, yeah? Okay.
Okay, so basically, Pastor Wilson not only takes you to the
Promised land.
he makes you get in the spirit.
Oh my God. Speak in tongues.
So I got some holy water for you, honey.
Definitely holy water and sprinkle, and speaking dummies. Absolutely marvelous.
But if he speaks in tongues, I'll bring the holy water.
Listen, you won't be holy water. You be sprinkling, girl. You be splashing. Actually, you be baptizing.
I keep going.
Okay, let's not talk about my weekend antics, darling. Let's go. Next topic.
Actually, it would be water fountain.
Gushing.
Tracy, we are too much. Okay.
So are we saying it is standard or not standard? Because I thought I was saying...
No, I'm saying it's standard, but it's not standard if it's not Pastor Wilson's
standard. Oh, okay.
Check out this Pastor Wilson.
Girlfriend, if you see Pastor Wilson...
Is he fine?
Oh, and I haven't.
Do you see? Do you get to see Pastor Wilson?
Oh, there's something going around.
Yeah. Epileptic fit.
So what, I can see Pastor Wilson at work?
Yes, something went round.
Listen, I need to join the congregation.
Something went round. But I was just like, I don't need to see that. But the way you're describing it, I'm like,
You know, listen, girlfriend, I was like you. I said, oh, whatever. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay.
He knows how to work it.
But the thing is, it wasn't just okay. You felt every stroke. And oh, Pastor Wilson. Pastor Wilson!
Where's my phone?
Anyway.
So you're talking about the well, I can't say. You know Dominic Sinclair. You know the UK.
No.
What do you call it? I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to. It's Christmas, and every Christmas there's a guy on the stairs.
Oh, yes. So basically, a while ago he went out partying.
Oh, is that just went around just recently?
No, it's a while ago. But he was on the stairs, and the girl, whatever, and everyone shared it, and now. Anytime that topic comes up, they put this guy's face on it.
Oh, I see. Well, I think Pastor Wilson has passed that.
Okay.
But
it sounds like he's got more of a positive connotation, because with Dominic he gets like a diss of it. Like.
But I would say, even though he does get a diss, it's not so much, because at first it was, but now it's like a big joke, and everyone's kind of now sex tapes and sex is just a normal thing. Before, if a sex tape was leaked, it'd be like, oh my God, big scandal. Now it's like, oh, the LMA sex tape, or this one's done that one. It's almost like part and parcel, and it's because we live in such a sexualized world. And to me, like I'm in touch with my sexuality. That's not something that I hide from. My poetry, you'll hear it, and I've got no filter.
And it's very broad, you know, my poetry.
But we live in a hyper-sexualized world, and I do think it's sometimes too much on the forefront for our young people and the confused messages that they actually get, especially for our girls. Because I'm up for women getting what they want and being pleasured and receiving pleasure, but it should be for yourself. But I think a lot of the times the messages that our young girls get is you need to be a bad bee. Like I'm writing this poem, it's been in writing for a long time, but there's a song that I heard the other day. I think her name's called Sonna, and it's something bad bee, and she's like, well, why should I be bad bees have all the fun, and everything's a bad bee bob, and it's all about being sexualized
because they're watching too much of the porn, etc., etc.,
not even
and
just
want to
the
live
porn.
that life there.
Just the Beyonce's, Wild Thoughts, or what's that song? I heard that your body's for the taking. If you, I must have did it with my students, and I put Wild Thoughts up on the board, and I analysed it through them. Everyone was like, "That's really what she's saying."
I don't know what she's saying. I just love the song. Wow,
something like, you know, my body's for the taking. You know, I've got these brothers going crazy. So, and it's like he's coming in. Yeah, I've heard from everyone.
See me naked.
So if you actually listen to the actual words of the song. You ain't gonna let your little daughter sing that wow, 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 and your blood clot while sorry, PG. But what I'm saying is,
there's certain bashment. When I do see certain bashment videos,
Cardi B, FM, then I get some money. So,
but listen, but this is not new.
It's not
because
new,
I remember a song. What's it called? Let me lick you up and down.
Oh yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you actually started to listen to the words.
And we knew that was slow jams. The slow jams had a section where we knew that was supposed to be played.
But
after
at
hours.
the time, when as I got
When we were-
older,
yeah.
and I remember going out somewhere and saw all these young children dancing.
Do you know what?
And I was like, hold on a minute.
Is that the song that you
And then I was like,
My mum's gonna cuss me again because every week she was telling me off the other day. Like every time we're on the show, she's like, "My mum." She's like, "Oh my god, what's she gonna say now? What have I done?" But I got in trouble for that with my sister because my sister's like 7 years younger than me, and I was there. I had this TLC creep. So I creep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No idea what I was saying. And my mum's come downstairs. He said it's like basically talking about so I cheat. And I go out. He doesn't know what I do. But no one is supposed to know. So up the front. So I creep in there with my little sister. What kind of dirty business you lot in there dancing around and singing? I got in trouble for it. But it is very much word like my
remember
mum's
some
words
music
sound of
you're
power.
listening to.
And you're putting it into your
and you're
psyche.
putting it into your psyche. And I mean, it's like Shabba Ranks. Some of this. And when I used to say, but, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Thank you for going into that because I said with the whole bashment scene,
that's
when I go to certain
different.
bashment places and I see kids dancing and parents okay with their kids dancing and singing certain words, I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, but you know what it is?
It's
because
the rhythm.
it's not just that.
Rhythm.
It's about educating the parents because it's almost like culturally maybe they think
absolutely
that ain't nothing. That's just a song. Yeah. But when you really start to dissect the song, you're like, oh my god, is that what you're actually sexualizing your own children to do that? And when you see them like you know, you go to parties, you've been back in the day, you went to parties and stuff, and you see children dancing. But then when you start listening,
some of them are twerking
and they
now.
But it's not twerking. But it's like
twerking.
Sorry,
I went out.
There's no such thing called twerking.
Yeah, shake your butty.
Let me set the record straight.
The tea party is about
There's
twerking.
no such thing called twerking. I don't go for twerking.
Right,
Black people originate the word. No, we originate
the
dance. Okay, and we never had a name. It was called shake your
up.
Just dance, innit?
Wiggle your bottom, back it up, shake it down, head top. That's what it was called. It was nothing called no twerking. And it still is. And it originates from Africa, passed down through to the Caribbean, right through to where we are in the UK, around the world, etc. There's no such thing called twerking. But remember where it comes from. It comes from the black people there.
But
when our kids are doing that, and you see parents accepting it, and then what I just do, because the way how I was growing up, I would be like, watch the men, and then when I'm watching that and I'm watching the men have no other choice. They could be watching innocently, you know, when you're just watching something.
Yeah, that's not.
But then,
and to me, it's kind of
then
like
watching a child backing it up, head on or shoulder on, whatever. I'm like,
But there was a clip that I saw on Facebook today of this little boy, and he was kissing. He couldn't have been more than, I don't know.
Oh, was it kissing a little girl?
The little girl standing there. And she's like, and it's like got like a reggae track over it. Someone says, is this innocent or is it wrong? And I said, it's innocent, but it almost needs to be checked as well, because you've got this little boy, I want to keep kissing you, I want to keep kissing you. The girl's going along with it, but it's like he's almost imposing his will on her. And this is the kind of thing, it's like with the dancing, there's another clip with a woman, it's like at carnival, and this big grown-ass woman's got some little you winding up on her, and then the steward comes and says, yo, what are you doing? We need to think about what it is that we're doing and what we're inputting into our youth. Because I remember my daughter, I like house, but I listen to everything, and I remember it was Rihanna again, Rude Boy. And I remember driving along, singing along, come on, Rude Boy. And I heard my daughter like, take it. And like, come on, Rude Boy. I was like, oh my God. House music. From there, straight house CDs. Because my little daughter...
House is peace and love, you know.
Don't get me wrong, we get some tracks.
The majority. But South African house. We don't in Africa, South African Zimbabwe, we don't get down like that. It's all when you listen to the words. But it's a whole different thing.
I think we have to be careful about what we're putting in, and not to dismiss those kind of things. Like the little kid, that's innocent, but you go to school, that's sexualized behavior.
Yeah.
They'll write that down on these file called social services on you and say he's displaying sexualized behavior. He's forcing and imposing his will on a little girl, and then you get labelled for it. And that's the world that we live in. So
I mean, we could talk forever. We've run out of time, but I mean, we swayed away away from to clean or not to clean, and we went into sexualized behavior, which is fantastic. But you know, guys, as I said, that's another topic another time, because it all has different measures to do with culture. And I agree with some of it, and some of it I don't agree with because of obviously the culture. But yes, we do need to measure, and we do need to be careful what we're playing and saying around our children, especially like you said in the car and whatever. Well, you know, you gotta be able to do that. But guys, we have run out of time so much.
I do like that. Let's talking with our chest. Talk with our chest.
We talked a lot, you know. We ran out of time, but tonight we really covered some great topics. We spoke about whether or not we should actually check someone out before we start dating.
Oh yeah.
And we agreed that that is something we need to do. Definitely, we need to find some way of finding out. You know, we don't know what type of people.
Did we agree? Did we? Yeah, we did say.
We? So we was going to come back to that. We did actually.
We did say, but do we think yes? No.
To some extent.
I don't think you really can't. Yeah, I think as you go along.
You'll suss them out as you go along, but then if there are prior checks that you can do, better.
Why not?
And then of course, our lovely lady, our hotel, our maid,
our hotel maid. She got her money. She got paid.
The cleaner.
No, she actually
cleaned up.
She took a used condom and made herself pregnant. And from that pregnancy, she flourished because she actually took the father to court and won the child support battle. Now, we didn't actually think that was a good idea.
No.
And we actually didn't think it was nice at all.
Don't condone that.
It had too many red flags.
No, what was it? Red earrings. Remember red
earrings came out.
Remember the jar wrote me whole earring now.
And the wickedest thing is, we did not plan to wear.
Yeah, imagine that. Look. Everybody.
Honestly, God,
there's a red theme today.
For some reason, the red just came out.
Wow.
But no, absolutely not. We don't agree with it. But we do empathise and sympathise the reason why she did it, that she was desperate to have a child, but that was not the right way to go about it. I'm so sorry for the father. Obviously, he's been robbed, he's been raped, he's been violated, he's been abused. There's so many things that's happened to this man, and obviously at the end of the day there's a child. But we wish her and the child a lot of love and luck in their life, and you know, you're a millionaire too, girl. So what can we say? And last but not least, to wash or not to wash, that was the question. And we come to the answer that we should wash or not wash. I think it's whether you...
Let's say it's your own preference.
It's your own preference.
I just pleaded the fifth.
I think it's good to wash, but I don't think there's anything wrong with someone that enjoys your... I mean, it's natural sense.
I think, obviously, if you're a clean person, I mean, come on now, let's get it clear.
Yeah.
Because we're not asking you to stay like that for the 5 days. Ooh. You know, obviously, if you're a clean person and it just happened that, you know, you went out maybe and...
We didn't even go to the fact that in the culture that we're living in now, they're like, when you're on, it's on.
Wow.
So,
maybe
it's
another hour show.
Yeah.
So next week in the young country, they're like,
well, there you go. You see, that's the beauty about this. It can just expand. That's why it's called Let's Talk About It.
Like a
so,
tampon,
guys, anything from you? Natural?
No, I've already said too much. But tune into my show next week and every week on Wednesdays at around 8 o'clock.
That's right. Natural's on before me, so she's around 8 o'clock, and then I'm supposed to be after Natural every Wednesday right here at Heritage Studios in London, and also our beautiful, gorgeous
Tendai. Thank you so much for having me. Love your show. Love your energy. I'm all about energy. So yeah, it's all about the whole energy thing. Show's fantastic, and yeah, thanks for having us.
And my beautiful, gorgeous Corinne, this lady here, I must say to you guys, I've known this woman here since school, one of my best friends. I love her to pieces. Corinne, love you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thanks for having us.
And thank you so much, Natural. Thank you all so much. We were here, we gone. Later.
Bye. Wash and go.
This is UK Pressure Records.
UK Pressure Records continuing where we left off with part 1 of this fantastic rhythm, Spreading the Love. Part 2. It's now available on CD Baby and all leading download sites. Featuring 4 remarkable UK-based artists, featuring the singer-man himself, Andrew Slowly.
You just don't want to play with the scorn of a woman. You just don't.
The scorn of a woman.
You know why?
The scorn of a woman. The scorn of a woman. Yes.
It's hotter than fire in a hell.
The scorn of a woman.
The one and only all-rounder UK principal.
I love you, I love you, I love you. Yeah. I love you, my girl. And I've always wanted you to be mine.
That's why I love you,
So this song I sing from my heart, and it's so true.
Beautiful voice of the lovely Verna Morgan.
I'm so grateful for this precious life.
But not least, the Barry White of reggae, Ricardo McKenzie, aka Ricky Ratkin.
I keep spreading love. Oh, yes. I keep spreading the love around the world now. I keep spreading the love.
Is a must for every reggae music lover, so make sure you get your copy today. UK Pressure Records, uniting music and the people together. One love.
Around the world now, I keep spreading the love. Yes, I will. I know I will. I keep spreading the love around the world now.
My daughter-in-law. So how are you planning for my son's birthday? I have to cook up for her. Do you people have ogirisi there? No. It's okay. Okay, let me call you back. Mama Chijuke. Hi, sir. Wait a minute. Please pack some ogirisi. I am going to visit my son. My daughter-in-law. It's arranged. But you must use original red oil to prepare the soup. What? I'll call you back. Mama Chijo, please include Isio Morocco. My daughter-in-law. Everything is now set. But don't forget that gold wristwatch I saw the last time I visited you.
Now you can talk until you tire for just 11 kobo a second. Call all networks in Nigeria and 30 international destinations, including US, UK, China, Canada, and India for just 11 kobo per second. Dial *211# to activate.
That's it, boo-boo.
The largest data network, Glow, Grandmasters of Data.
Bring the gap. Everybody,